back to Daytime. Well, I think the subject of nonviolence has taken a particularly important kind of spike in awareness, especially given what ultimately, unfortunately, played out at the G20 this weekend. And we were very, very fortunate to have an annual event that does happen in this area to recognize, celebrate, and encourage nonviolence, and that's the Nonviolence Festival, which this year is happening the 10th of July at Victoria Island in Kitchener. And here to tell us more is Roger Albrecht, who's been on with us many, many times before. So again, a very, very important festival, especially in light of what happened at the G20, unfortunately, which it really was meant to be a peaceful protest, but just a couple of knuckleheads jumped in and decided to ruin the party for everyone, wouldn't you say?
I'd say, wow, we can't go down that road.
Yeah.
It's too big, too much, because it's ongoing, ever-present. The protests, small groups of people that use violence, and then how the powers that be then respond to that violence. They know it's going to happen. It's inevitable and doesn't need to be. These are talks that we're not part of. They don't even need to announce that they're doing these talks. Do it afterward. But it's all part of a bigger system that, you know what, we got to do it on grassroots level. That's why we've got to change things ourselves. So the Nonviolence Festival and the 5 events that we do through the year is about that, getting us together to make a difference, to make a change. Let's not look to the politicians, because they won't solve the problems, or Superman's not going to come, or aliens, probably not. So we need to do it, and that's why we started this festival, the Nonviolence Festival, 6 years ago.
And it keeps growing. Every year it gets bigger, doesn't it? Do you find that are you hearing back? Is it making a difference?
Well, we were at the Multicultural Festival with our table saying the Nonviolence Festival, my brother and I. And it's little moments that you get every once in a while. So a little girl comes up and sees some buttons, you know, like buttons or magnets or various things that we have, and likes them. Well, does it cost money? Just give us a donation. So she says, is 25 cents okay? She pulls out of her purse. She's like 8 or 10 years old. And I get teary-eyed. My brother said, oh yeah, another woman came with her daughter who beelined straight up to our table and looked at our trifold of the World Without Wars and things like that. And the mom says she looks forward to this festival every year. It is so important to her. And my brother just getting weepy, saying, this is what gives us a juice. This is why we can, in fact, change, and it can be positive change. And let's move towards that. So every once in a while, we do get feedback, and you know, otherwise, it still is difficult. It is still a process that people don't want to talk about.
And I think the subject of nonviolence, I mean, I think unfortunately, you know, violence makes better television in a lot of ways, and unfortunately we have this myth, we've bought into this myth that really the only way to resolve conflict is through violence, and that is not the case at all. And we think back historically, there are some very strong examples of people that made a profound difference and continue to this day, you know, applying nonviolence, and one of them obviously is Gandhi.
Yes, so this will be a nice little segue into the fact that we've decided to every year honor a group or a person that has used nonviolence to make positive change. So a few years ago, at a peace walk that we had, I had met a gentleman by the name of Dr. Ron-Harris, and he had walked with Gandhi. So before that, let's just simply say that you know, during World War II, this gentleman was with British intelligence, embedded, I think, in Germany. I mean, to spend that amount of time in that situation, to have to go through that, like, it boggles the mind. Then he met Gandhi, and Gandhi influenced him greatly, suggested he study nonviolent medicine. He can tell you more about that. And then, so he did, and became a leader in homeopathy in Ontario, and is now kind of semi-retired. He still treats, so he's 94 years old, going on, what, 60, 70, I think? I'm not sure. And with him is, so this is Dr. Ron-Harris, and with his, a lady by the name of Zbagya, who for the last year has been, well, she was a patient that he helped, and now she's assisting him in various endeavors.
Yes. Well, first we have to find out about nonviolent medicine. What exactly does that mean?
Well, a medicine which does not harm your body.
Good.
The medicine that you take, the father of that said, a drug without a side effect is not a drug. Now, that's violating your body. In fact, you should have something to protect you without causing harm.
You're so right. Prescription drugs, they end up causing side effects down the road, don't they? And we also have to find out about Gandhi. Please tell us about that momentous occasion.
Well, I met Mr. Gandhi in 46, after the war. Quite a gentleman, slim. He'll take his shower at 4 o'clock, have a glass of buttermilk, and walk miles and miles and miles. Of course, I couldn't do it. He'll always look at me and say, son, you're so lazy, you're so fat, all you want to do is eat and sleep. Which I found insulting.
I was going to say, especially when you think about it, it came from Gandhi, you know? I mean, that would be something that would slightly, you know, imprint itself in your brain.
Yes.
But you were saying...
But then, naturally, I realized he was trying to correct me. You know, saying, look, it's not good to have 6 beers. If you didn't have, you could walk with me.
And again, that's it. I mean, because I think that was something that Gandhi obviously preached was a complete state of mind. It was, again, respecting the body as well.
That's right. His whole thing was, people think of violence, and they think of physical violence. But any violence you consider mental, abusive, insulting a person, being not neighborly, is violence.
And that's the thing we often don't consider, is the fact that violence is more than just, you know, physical contact. It can be an emotional state of being. It can be, you know, obviously verbally enacted. And this is the whole, the importance of a festival such as yours, because it's an opportunity for enlightenment, an opportunity for participation, and just to grow.
And often violence is perpetuated through the generations, so it's breaking the cycle. And if someone gets a spark of awareness from this festival, or from listening to you or speaking to you, maybe it will break that cycle.
Well, Gandhi said the greatest form of violence is poverty, so economic violence is massive, and we're seeing it more and more so now. So all these aspects are, come to the festival and check it out, celebrate with us.
And again, get the festival details again, just make sure that people
July
get out.
10, Saturday, Victoria Park Island, Kitchener. There's games, there's food, there's fun, music, concert all day long. Games for kids, you'll enjoy them. They're not violent at all. Well, hockey stick, you could take a shot on the goalie. That's not real, though.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, again, thank you so much, Dr. Harris. Thank you for being here, as well as Dr. Patel as well. The festival, very important to take in. Enhance your non-violence lexicon, shall we say. All right. More daytime to come, so stay with us, folks.